never had a job. In fact, I decided never to have a job ever again after realizing this one truth, this one perspective that was illustrated back to me. So I want to illustrate that to you guys, the realization that I had that I would never need a job. In fact, I don't want a job anymore after realizing this. Now, my brother and I both never had a job. My brother is a college dropout. And myself, the only closest thing I got to a job or a career was my military service. Now, I don't really consider my military service to be a job per se. I consider it to be more of a service to the country. So this is a realization that I have, and this is the illustration that I saw that I realized I don't want a job anymore, especially if I wanted to control my freedom. I want to have that freedom and independence to go wherever I want, travel where I want, experience more life. I realized that job wasn't going to get me there. Now, if you love what you do, if you absolutely pour your heart to doing things that you love and get paid doing it, awesome, keep on doing it. But what if I told you you can continue doing what you love to do, whether it's a job, a career, or business, but you don't necessarily have to tie it with the income and the livelihood of your living. So what I'm saying is this realization has helped me shift my focus from ever having to feel like I need to get paid by a job versus continue loving doing what I love while creating stability and security in my life. So here's a realization that was illustrated back to me about 4 years ago, that made me realize I do not want a job anymore. So this illustration came about, and I'm gonna give you a scenario where, let's say you are offered a $50 an hour job. $50 an hour is a pretty decent wage, right? I'm sure some of you guys are getting paid more, but some of you guys may want and wish that you would have a $50 an hour job. So we're gonna go ahead and say that you got an offer for $50 an hour, and the average American today works anywhere between 50 to 60 hours a week, 40 on the low side, up to 70 to 80 on the high side. So we're gonna go with more of this 50 number, and that equates to $2,500, right? And we can express that by saying that's $2,500 a week. Now, I know some of you guys hate math. I do too. I know I look like I'm good at math, okay? I know what you guys are thinking, but I am not good at math. So let's go with $2,500 a week. And if there's 5 weeks in a given month period, right? So I'm gonna pull out a calculator because, again, I hate doing math. So $2,500 times 5 equals $12,500. That's actually pretty good. $12,500 a month, right? I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, man, $12,000 is a lot of money that I could be earning and I can transform my life. Well, stay with me here because things are gonna look a little different. So $12,500 a month times 12 months, put it in a year, and that's $150,000. Right? I'm gonna double check my math there. So that's $150,000 a year. That's a 6-figure job, guys. And a lot of you guys are like, man, that's where I wanna be at. That's where ultimately my dream goal is, to just make $150,000 a year. Now, very few of us were taught to ever look at the big picture, the long term. In fact, our education system, our job, they really want us to think long term. They want to see the results now. So a lot of times we think, okay, $150,000 a year, but we don't really see it. Okay, how do we make this? What are we going to make over time? Now, I know there's going to be factors such as raises and promotion, but let's keep the math simple, okay? And we're gonna say we're gonna work for the next 40 years. Now, some of you guys watching this may be halfway through this, or just getting started, or you're finishing, or you're looking to retire. So if we do $150,000 times, let's say 40 years, that's an average amount of years where people are gonna work. So I got the number of $6 million for 40 years worth of work. Now, here's what's interesting about this number. This doesn't take an account of the fact that you have to pay taxes, right? Because usually when you get paid on your pay stub, you got your taxes, right? Your FICA, Social Security, all that gets taken out. So in this example, we have not taken it out. We also need to factor in that there's expenses, right? If you have kids, boy oh boy, they get expensive, right? If you have to save for retirement, right? That gets deducted. Now, this is one realization why I've never decided to have a job, and I felt like I felt like my control, my freedom was being robbed after being asked this question. If I asked you, okay, if I wrote you a check for $6 million But the terms and conditions are you have to work for me. As me being your boss, I get to tell you when to take a vacation, when you can take a lunch break, how often can you be sick, right? You're allowed to be sick until you're fired, and I take back the $6 million that I gave you. And you work for me for 50 hours a week, okay? And you get the weekends off, but you have to fight the traffic for an hour. You also have to go home, right? Commute back to home for another hour, and that's what you're gonna have to do for the next 40 years. Will you be willing to do that? Okay. Again, that's not accounting for the fact that we have to pay taxes. There's expenses. You have to save up for retirement, right? So by the time you hit 65 or 70, whatever the new retirement age is, right? You have to ask yourself how much of that $6 million are you going to have left with, right? Because you have to pay taxes and expenses, savings, right? If that's ever, if that ever works, that's the offer in terms of condition that I'm willing to offer you. Now, the question is, are you willing to take that offer? Are you willing to stick with me, right? Are you willing to stay committed for the next 60 years so that you can have $6 million? The catch is I get to keep you around for 50 hours a week, 2 hours for commute, right? One hour to go to the job, an hour back to home, okay, and a lunch break in the middle. Okay. What's also involved, what's bonus is that you get work politics. Okay, you get to argue with me because I'm your boss, right? Guys, what I realized, having freedom as my priority, I realized this will never work for my lifestyle. Now, if you don't really care about that, then okay, cool, right? Everyone has a priority. Everyone has different needs and emotional, needs that they need to be fulfilled. But for me, for a lot of you guys out there, wanting to have that freedom, wanting to have that mobility, being able to travel, being able to experience life, having that control and security, and being able to provide for your family, I realized this plan wasn't going to work for long terms. And I realized that this is going to stop me from exceeding my potentials and going out there helping people and creating value for the world if I'm trapped at a job for 50 hours a week. So here's what I realized, and here's the alternative, and I'm looking for my eraser here. Let me show you what I realized as an alternative that not only has given me more freedom, more control, and being able to work on my own time and really feel like that my work has a sense of purpose. This is something that dawned on me as a great alternative. Now, for those who have never seen me, never came in contact with my videos, I'm a real estate investor, so I love real estate. And if you are renting right now, basically, I do what your landlord does. I buy property, I rent them out. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, well, I don't have money to buy houses or buy apartments to rent out to people. Good news is neither did I, okay? So when I got out of school, when I graduated, and my brother didn't, he obviously dropped out for good reasons, we didn't have the money. Okay, we didn't have a rich dad who gave us a loan $1 million that allowed us to start this business. What we did have to do, and what we did was sacrifice some time to be able to capture knowledge, to acquire as much knowledge as possible about real estate. And what we learned are two things that allowed us to not ever have to use our own cash or credit to be able to buy real estate. So the first thing that we learned is that we realized that instead of having to go to the banks to get a loan, we can actually talk and negotiate with the person selling the house directly for them to be the bank. So instead of us making monthly payments to the bank, we're now making monthly payments to the seller. And this concept is called seller financing. So this process does not involve any credit. It's just me and the seller having that dialogue to where the seller agrees to take monthly payments instead of a lump sum cash. Now, you may be thinking, who's going to want to do that? Well, if you know the right information, if you know the right connection, if you have the right knowledge and how to apply it, things will be possible. The second thing is that we didn't have the money. So for me to articulate this concept to you, I was able to articulate and share this information with people who did have the money that wanted to buy real estate but wasn't really sure on how to do it. So I was able to partner up with these guys that did have the money to be able to go out and buy property with me having a share in the stake, right? Kind of like a you've seen Shark Tank, right? You give away equity away on a company, same thing. So I was able to go out there, buy properties, buy houses to where if you're renting, again, people like you will move into my house and pay me rent. Now, for illustration purposes, this is just an illustration, okay? Let's say the rent is $1,200 a month. And what I know is that not all $1,200 I get to keep. I have to pay expenses, right? Taxes, insurance, all those things. Now, assuming, I'm going to skip the math because I know we hate math, right? We're going to say that this property is going to pay us $500 a month after we pay all the expenses, all the utilities. Usually you would pay the utilities, right, as a landlord. But let's say we get to keep $500 a month. Now, the question for you guys is that, did I have to clock in and clock out? Did I have to spend time to make that $500? No, right? All I have to do is wait on the first day of the month where you pay the rent to me and pay all the expenses, and that $500 goes right into my bank account without ever having to spend some time to collect. Now, did I have to spend time to buy the property? Yes. Did I have to spend time to learn what I'm doing? Yes. Did I have to spend 5 seconds to check my my bank account to see if the money is there? Yes. But if I can do this, I realize if I can do this enough to where I can do this, let's say, 10 more times, I knew my income would be $5,000 a month, that I didn't necessarily have to clock in and clock out, go to a job, fight the traffic, all of that. I can get that straight to my bank account. And this is what we call, guys, passive income, where my money is not directly tied to having to go report to a boss, having to feel like I'm in control, I'm in a boxed situation, having to work and clock in and clock out. And you guys, you and I will both agree with that time is the most precious resource known to human being, right? We can make more money, money comes and goes, but time, you can't necessarily get more back. You can't simply go and go to the time factory and make more time, right? What we can do, however, guys, is use our money to buy more time, right? That's what wealthy people do, is they take their money, right? The money that you as the renter went and clocked in and clocked out, made the money, paid me rent because I'm the landlord, paid all the expenses, kept to $500. I do this 10 more times, and I got $5,000. Now I got time and money that's coming along my side to be able to spend time with my family, to be able to go to build more businesses. I can travel now. I can chill and relax, right? Whatever I want to do. That's the lifestyle that I want to create. And I knew a job wasn't going to get me there. Now, with that $5,000, this house I'm living in, I have a huge lawn, so I have to mow, right? So I spend some of that money to hire a landscaper to go in and mow the lawn for me. So I don't have to spend the time, right? I have to go and put these clothes on dry cleaning. Well, I don't want to drive to dry cleaning, so I have someone pick it up and put it in dry cleaning and return it when it's cleaned, right? Same thing with food, right? Instead of spending that 30, 45 minutes cooking, I just go out and eat and dine. So guys, money can get you more time, and time is really precious, and that is what I realized, and that is why I have dedicated this entire YouTube channel to help you get on this track. If you're sick and tired of your job, of feeling like you don't have control over your destiny, feeling like you don't have control over your finances, not having the freedom that you want, not being able to travel when you want on your terms, then guys, this YouTube is here for you. This YouTube channel, guys, I'm really passionate in helping people realizing that the jobs are not for them. Now, going back to what I've said, if you love what you do and you don't really care about this priority, you don't have this priority like I do and some of the other people do, then that is completely okay, right? You can go on about your day, check out some of the other cat videos on YouTube, and we're all happy, right? But if you are like anything like me, who love to have control over their life, being able to contribute to other people, helping people, being able to travel, being able to experience more life, right? Elevating my brand so that I can help other people, dominating my goals, accomplishing things, then this is the path that you can choose, a great alternative that many other wealthy individuals have undergone to become very successful financially and have incredible amount of freedom on their side. So guys, if you loved this video, if you love the introduction of this idea of building passive income, the cash flow, having to not trade your time for money, this is something that you guys can undergo and take on as your mission statement. Now, is this easy to do? Is this piece of cake? Can you go out there and just do this? No, right? You're gonna need some training, you're gonna need some knowledge, you're gonna have to go learn this just like any business and any profession, but is it worth it, right? Is it absolutely worth it? For me, it was, right? I get to travel when I want. I have the freedom. I have this amazing studio platform that I can speak to you guys today, right? So that is my emotional calling. That's my fulfilled purpose because of the income stability that I have, right? So guys, it's like any profession. Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Outliers, talked about if you want to be a world-class professional, if you want to be world-class talent, you have to be willing to spend that 10,000 hours into such mastery, such profession. If you're not willing to spend that 10,000 hours, even half of that, then guys, maybe it's time to consider some alternative path. You know, Bitcoin stocks, there's plenty of other investment vehicles out there for you to be successful financially, not just real estate. But for me, freedom, control, being able to travel, experiencing new things, priorities. So this allowed me to buy that lifestyle, and I believe that it can as well for you, as long as you align yourself with the right people, whether it's me or some other YouTube channel. But guys, find that resource and hook up to it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you around. Stick around. I love you guys, appreciate you guys for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Well, hello there. You made it to the end of this video. Congratulations, and that probably means that you like our video and you love what we did. So be sure, if you want to get more information, more YouTube videos from us about real estate investing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to make sure that you get notifications on our future videos about real estate investing.